Hey guys, I know I haven't made a video in a while, but we are back out hiking today. So I am on the Dripping Springs Trail. A little bit windy today, but not too bad. So we're gonna head up to the Patten mining camp up here in the mountains. Really cool little spot, completely surrounded by these neat, like jagged peaks. And it's really pretty up here. Grass has grown over pretty good, and it's just really good light right now. A lot of this is in shade, and I think it's gonna get a little better as the sun goes behind the clouds. So let's head on up and check this thing out. Bye. Okay guys, cool, check this out. So we're not quite there yet, but I've come across a pretty good sized desert tarantula. I love these little dudes. You don't want to mess with them, but generally they're harmless. Their venom's not really toxic to people, but they will bite you. It does hurt like hell. But I found one. I don't usually get to get these guys on video. But they do get pretty good sized, and he's just wandering off doing his thing. So we're gonna let him be. But yeah, that's really cool. I haven't caught one of these dudes on video in a long time. And we made it. All right, guys, the reason I really like this area up here is because you've got these three small buildings that are left over from the mining camp, and they make really interesting subject matter, especially with the big mountains right behind here. So I'm actually gonna frame up a couple of these with the mountains, and I'm thinking I'm gonna use the Sigma 100 to 400, but I'm gonna start with my wide angle real quick, my 12 to 28 millimeter. I really wanna see how this turns out. Okay guys, well I'm waiting for the light to get a little better. I think the sun's gonna slip behind some clouds back there, give us a nice soft light on our image. I want to talk to you guys real quick about kind of a question I get quite a bit when I talk to people about going hiking, taking photos, stuff like that. And the biggest surprise to most people is I go alone a lot of the time. Just it works out. Usually I'll get off work, I'll have time to go do this kind of stuff, and not necessarily can people come with me. So there's a few key things that make it where I can do this, and if you're gonna start hiking alone, which I don't necessarily recommend, but if you have to, there's a few things I carry that really make a difference, and are things I think you would want to carry as well. The first thing I carry is a small first aid kit, actually in my bag here. It sits in the front pocket. It's really essential item. If I happen to get hurt, it's enough I can patch myself back up and get going. As well as a cap, which is a tourniquet, just a little Velcro nylon tourniquet I like to keep in my bag if I need it. That is in an extreme worst case, not an item I necessarily want to use at any point. Second item I carry is this guy right here. This is a small GPS messenger with an SOS function. That's the key part. This is the Garmin InReach Mini. I really like this dude. It's a really small subscription fee, about 10 bucks a month. This little dude allows me to pull this cover open, pop the SOS button, and generally get help. The way these guys work, they connect up to the GPS satellites, and in non-emergency situations, I can message back and forth with people I have preloaded into this little guy. And in an emergency, I can contact search and rescue services as well as talk to them via text on these little guys. A lot of it's pre-built in. You can manually type messages. It is a little fiddly, but this is a lifesaver in case I need it. Another item I carry with me, this guy right here, this is bear spray. This gives me a nice, good blast of mace to keep me away from large predators, anything like that. I have actually used it on black bear as well as one mountain lion encounter, and this stuff works great. It's something I do not hike without, whether I'm alone or I'm with people, but it's really essential to have this guy with you in case you run into things. Especially out here in the desert, we have everything from mountain lions, wolves, and coyotes to other small things you might not necessarily think you'd have to worry about, such as skunks that do carry rabies and all kinds of other stuff like that. Okay, the light's a little harsher than I wanted, but I think we're still gonna get a good shot. So we're gonna frame this guy up and make something cool. Okay guys, so I'm gonna head back down the trail to the car. I only had about an hour today to come out and shoot. This place does close at sunset, which is kind of a bummer, but I do understand. There's a lot of really cool ruins and stuff. They don't want to get messed up or vandalized late at night. So to use this area at night, you do have to have a special permit, which does take some legwork. But I think we got a couple good images on the A7 IV, and it was a good chance for me to go ahead and test out the camera I'm actually filming on now. And if you guys were curious, this is the GoPro Hero 11 with the Media Mod and a wind muff on it, just to kind of cut out some of this wind noise. I'm also using the GoPro Volta to provide power for me. That way, instead of just the internal battery, I get an additional 4 hours worth of power. I'll leave you guys with a little bit of B-roll of this place. It's really beautiful up here, and it's right outside Las Cruces, New Mexico. There's really cool mountain peaks, as well as a lot of vegetation, some other neat stuff out here. So I'll show you guys some footage, and I'll see you next time.